So the crazy thing is I actually nearly deleted this beat. When it started out, it didn't sound anything like this. It was sounding super trash, like really basic, and just, I wasn't feeling it at all. So in today's video, I'm going to break down how I turned this throwaway beat into one of my most fire, hardest trap beats I've ever made. Check it out. So the problem with this beat originally was that I had the idea, but I just couldn't get those sounds that I had to sound as good or as unique as I wanted them to. Like, it was just sounding too basic. These sounds, the way they were not sounding good. I just couldn't work out how to get them to where they needed to be. But thankfully, this exists. And by this, I mean the Microcosm pedal from Hologram Electronics. This thing is absolutely sick, and it completely transformed this beat, and I'm going to show you exactly how it did that. That's not a bad melody, the sound's decent too, but like I said before, it's way too basic, it's not interesting, it doesn't really get me inspired to go in any particular direction with this beat. It's kind of just like there. So yeah, if you've ever been in a similar situation, then this pedal is definitely a lifesaver. So I took our original melody and I ran it through the pedal 4 times, and these are the 4 ideas that the pedal gave me. At this point, I knew that all the layers we had weren't enough to make a fire beat with, so I had to introduce another element. I've added these really simple chords using Analog Lab 5. Super simple, but you'll see how they play a massive part in making this beat what it is. So what I decided to do next was to take this new melody we've made with our pedal, combined with our chords, and run it through a fruity slicer to get us an even more kind of like different, crazy kind of vibe. And I'm just messing around with the pitch and the time stretch and all that kind of stuff to see what we can come up with. It's time to start the drums because we need to get that bounce established as early on as possible with this beat. So what I did was I went into my Mood drum kit, which you guys can get. The link is down in the description. Check it out, guys. And yeah, we got some really nice simple trap drums going here. So we then added the 808, and also I decided to chuck on a sound shifter onto the master to hear the beat in a slightly different key. I decided to actually scrap the pedal melody, the first one that we came up with. So what I did was cut it out completely, and we're going to just add some elements in and then run those through pedals. So while I was making this beat, this melody was just going round and round in my head, just so I decided to just voice note it real quick and put it into FL and add some effects to it to make it sound good. It's a little background vocal. 1, 2. So these chords and the vocal and the drums all combined together with the sound shifter sounds absolutely amazing right now. I'm loving the sound of this. Now it's time to take this pedal, take a couple of other melodies and just make this beat an absolute 10 out of 10 banger. So let's do it. So I came up with this really simple flute melody and run it through the pedal as you're seeing here about 2 or 3 times, and this is what we came up with. So as you can hear, the pedal turned that really simple flute melody into a nice ambient pad in literally like 5 seconds. It's crazy. And that just went in there in the background to add a nice little, you know, touch to the verse section, make it a little bit different. I then got this other really simple melody, just 2 notes, just going do 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 do, and run that through the pedal as well, which then gave me this layer. There was almost no similarity between that melody and what the pedal gave me, but what I got was just levels and levels and levels above what I started with in literally like 5 seconds. It's crazy. This thing is so easy to use. So the way the Microcosm inspired this beat was it took a very basic generic idea and helped me to strip away all of the stuff I didn't want and help replace it with stuff I did want that I just wouldn't have been able to create otherwise. So with that beat done, I'm gonna now go ahead and explain to you guys how I actually managed to get those melodies to sound the way they did with the Microcosm pedal. It is an effects pedal. It does have a lot of capability, a lot of power, a lot of control. I wanna show you guys a little bit about what I did and how I use this pedal and what this pedal can do. Here's a little demo walkthrough. After that, we'll get into another beat that we're gonna make live using this pedal. So I can show you guys once again how sick this thing is. I'm super excited. Let's get into it. I've got this melody right here. I'm just gonna slowly introduce the effects of the pedal with using the mix knob here. So we'll start with it on nothing, so you guys can hear the melody as it is. So let's slowly start to introduce this, and you'll hear the sound start to change. I like that effect right now. We're using the granules effect, scrolling through the effects with this knob here. It will take us all the way around these effects in a circle. Edison on the master, and basically just record it in. And then just drag it and drop it into your playlist. So if you turn the activity knob all the way to the right or clockwise, you're going to basically turn up the activity of the effect, the density of the effect, how much of the effect do you want in terms of variety, complexity, that kind of thing. And on the right, we've got the shape knob, which is going to add contour to the volume or filter characteristics of the effect. Next, we've got the filter knob, which the more you turn it to the right, it's also called resonance, but the more you turn it to the right, you're going to basically introduce a low pass filter to your sound. Of course, here we've just got the dry wet mix, so you're going to turn the total effect of the pedal on or off, so everything is controlled by this knob here. And then we've got the time control here, which is just going to basically set our global kind of tempo to the effect. If you set your tempo using this switch here by just tapping it in time with your tempo, and then you can change it, so for example 1/2, 2 times speed of the effect. Next, you've got repeats. This is going to determine the effect duration or frequency, I guess. I don't really understand this one too much right now, but space is just delay and reverb. And you can also change what type of reverb you have by holding down shift and scrolling the wheel. It will just change, telling you which one you're using from these lights. Very cool way of telling you what you're doing, these lights here. So yeah, definitely pay attention to these if you have a Microcosm. And then finally, we've got loop level, which is just going to set the playback volume of your loop if you're using a phrase looper, which we'll get to. So we made this melody here with it.
So as you can hear, it's kind of introducing these background kind of sounds. I haven't got the mix all the way up. I'm just got it on about 3/4, and we're using the granules tunnel effect. 4 categories. We've got micro loop, granules, glitch, and multi-delay. And judging from those names, I'm sure you guys can work out what they do, but if not, micro loop is essentially going to take little chops and bits and pieces of whatever the pedal is hearing and just mixing them together, creating a whole bunch of different ideas, textures, whatever you guys want. You've got granules, which is sort of like granular kind of synthesis. So if your melody is a bit empty, a bit boring, definitely introduce the tunnel kind of effect in the granules section. Glitch, very simple, you know, it's going to glitch out your melody. Finally, multi-delay, it's just 2 different types of delays. Combining the different effects with these different wheels, you can do a lot, trust me. Finally, the phrase looper. This is going to allow you to record in whatever is playing in your DAW into the pedal, therefore giving you complete control over that melody separate from your DAW, which will allow you to do even more to this sample, and then you can obviously record it back into your DAW. So I'm just going to basically just keep going with this method of getting these ideas down. This pedal will really honestly help you take a fairly dull, bland melody and just make something really special with it. Also, another cool thing is if you click down the button here, you can see the lights are moving either left to right or right to left. That's basically signifying whether the effect is going backwards or forwards. So that'll be forwards, that's backwards. So I'll leave it on backwards, let's just see what that sounds like. Okay, let's see what else we can come up with. Let's try glide. Going forwards. Oof, that's fire. Really easy to play around with one of these things. You honestly don't need to understand anything about pedals. If you like making those kind of unique samples, beats, whatever, then this thing is 100% a really, really cool investment, and I highly recommend you guys check it out. Why don't we sit down now and make a beat with the Microcosm, and I'll show you guys my full process and just how powerful this pedal can be. I've got these ideas down here now. Let's see what we can make with these ones here. I'm actually going to start with the last one because that one was sounding really interesting. Oof. It's taking the original melody, which is not bad, but pretty basic, pretty simple, and just adding this whole other dynamic layer to it that is constantly, you know, changing, making the melody so much more unique and have so much more depth. You know, fiddle with a few of the controls and then you literally got yourself like 5, 6, 7 different ideas to go from. Like, I think I'm just gonna use this one, to be fair. For the drum kit, I'm going to be using my Mood drum kit, which you guys can get. The link is down in the description. I want to establish my bounce, so I'm going to go into the Blueprint MIDI kit and grab a hi-hat MIDI. Let's go with the R&B one. Yeah. Now let's see if we can incorporate any of those other melodies in here. I'm going to try pitching this one up an octave from where it is now. That might sound horrible. Just exploring all possibilities right now with this. For a verse section, it's not bad. Basically what we've done is we have added our automations. We have added in a little gross beat kind of volume gate just to give this a bit more rhythm. So it's a bit more of like a ooh kind of thing now. So a huge thank you to the guys at Hologram Electronics for sending me a Microcosm to try out. My first initial impression on pedals in general as a concept wasn't very good, but this one has 100% changed my mind. I will definitely be using this thing way more in my production as I have been in the last few beats I've made. This thing's really easy to use, really powerful, and can easily create, you know, stacks of ideas, which you guys can use to create full-on beats with. Simple as that. So yeah, it makes good music. That's all you guys need to know. If you want to get a copy of this pedal, I'm going to leave a link to it down in the description. You guys should definitely check it out. My work here is done. I hope you've enjoyed the video. If you did, be sure to leave a like and subscribe to this channel if you're not already. And yeah, follow me on Instagram at ProdbyJack, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Have a great day. Peace.